All right.
Okay,
Questions?
can you hear me?
Yes, I
Hello.
can.
That's good. That's great. Okay, now we do have, let me just pull this up. We do have Julie who did, I notice, type in a question, and if I can open it up and ask. You mentioned sleep hygiene, yeah, because you mentioned this before actually. How does
Mhm.
this,
Mhm.
how does this how does reading a book before sleep fall into this? Did
It's a
you
very
mention
good
that later?
question.
No, you didn't.
Just a little bit later on, I was talking about the watching TV
TV,
mostly, just
yeah.
because a lot of people find watching TV relaxing and they tend to fall asleep with the TV on.
Mhm.
And it's, I guess, your good old-fashioned sleep hygienists are going to tell you don't read a book or watch TV in your bedroom. Make sure that when you go to bed, you tell your body that when you lay in bed, it's a place for sleep. But then in saying that, I think it's good to have a good pre-sleep calming routine, and part of my routine is to read a book in bed. I just make sure that I stay away from anything overly stimulating, so I might not necessarily be reading Stephen King at night time, and any books that really grab your attention. Possibly not fantastic because it'll keep you reading. I know I've read some Jodi Picoult until 2 a.m. So it's good if it's part of your pre-sleep calming routine, but if it's a particularly stimulating book, it may disturb your routine. So no hard and fast answers on that one.
All right. If anyone else has any questions, please feel free to type them in. In the meantime, what we might do is go to an email that we've received earlier today that you actually replied to, but there's some really good points in there, and I might pull one out that
Hmm.
talks. It's actually Stacey asking about the cycles of sleep, which you did cover, and
Sorry, excuse me.
that's okay. You're human. It's all fine. Instead of looking at sleep as hours, it is better to look at cycles. Example: 5 cycles is 7.5 hours, and 6 cycles is 9 hours. So between
Hmm.
7.5 to 9 hours would be optimal. I see there is a point on aging and sleep duration, so I'd imagine I'll get some answers there. Now,
Mm.
that's true or false?
I loved this question
Mm,
that Stacey sent. It was
mm,
absolutely lovely because, as I said, those sleep cycles are about 90 minutes. Stacey's completely correct, but that's
mm-hmm,
on average.
mm-hmm,
Throughout the night, there are individual differences in how long or how short your sleep cycle is, but also it depends on the stage in the night that you're asleep. So you will actually have a shorter sleep cycle longer sleep cycles to start off with that then shrink down. So they could start off being as long as 120 minutes down to 60 minutes. But I really agree with Stacey. It's good to think of your sleep in cycles rather than hours, and it's good to sort of try to give yourself these 90-minute cycles, because what it means is that you will be dropping down into that full deep restorative sleep, and that's a very important part of sleep, to get that 3-4 stage and then coming back up into REM. This sleep cycle concept is actually particularly important as well, because if you have a nap in the afternoon and you sleep for longer than 20 minutes, the reason you'll wake up feeling groggy is because you've dipped down into a really deep stage of sleep. So keeping your naps to 20 minutes prevents you getting down into that deep sleep, and it's a great way to reconceptualize the way that you're thinking about your sleep. And if you can think about trying to wake yourself up at a certain time, that means you're going to get a certain number of cycles, although that's really, really hard to gauge. It's a great way to conceptualize it.
I'm actually, yeah, I just found it. Have you heard of the iPhone app? I'm sure it'd be in the Android as well, called Sleep Cycle.
Yes, I have heard of it. I'm not sure how much research has been done behind that app,
Yep.
so I couldn't
Don't
say
know.
that it's fantastic,
Yeah.
but I have had some friends. I mean, I think the basic idea behind it is that during REM sleep, you're in a sort of state of atonia, so and during the other stages of sleep, you can fidget more. So I think that what it does is it sort of monitors how much, because I think you have to have the phone on your bed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah?
connected to the
So I
power. But
think
yeah,
it
they
might
say
be.
it's meant to.
I think it's movement based.
Yeah, it goes on
Yeah.
your on your movement, and when you're moving the least,
You're
you're
in
the
a shallower
deepest,
stage. Yep.
or
Yep.
something like
And
that.
so it has the potential to work, but
Mm-hmm.
until there was actually studies behind it, I couldn't say that it
So,
does work.
mm.
Yeah. So it has the potential to work though.
Hmm. Okay, it doesn't look like we have really any other questions. Julie did say thank you, but I'd just like to say that I think that sleep is such an what's the word I'm looking for? An underrated name for this webinar that we've done. It should be more like brain growth or something, because it's just just doesn't do it justice, does it really? I mean,
Oh,
the
you're
name
lovely, Stephen.
the name sleep, it just sounds not as exciting as brain growth, but that's really what's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right. Your sleep is integral, and yet it's so undervalued, and people understand so little about sleep as well. I mean, it's so important to your psychological, social, and physical well-being.
Hmm.
So I'm a big proponent for get good sleep.
Look, when you sent through saying that you presented at a sleep conference, I almost fell asleep reading it, but now I understand. I fully
Mm.
understand. It's very, been very, very enlightening, Michelle.
Oh,
Very
good.
enlightening.
I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
No, I
Thank
have.
you.
No, I definitely have. Um, if I can go to the next slide, I will say thank you to everyone. Thank you for coming. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Michelle?
If anyone has any further questions, you're more
Oh,
than welcome, because my staff email unfortunately isn't working at the moment. You can send them through to Steve, and Steve can forward them on to me. I do have another email, but I'm worried that your email may get lost, so we'll have to sort of do it via Steve, and Steve's been very lovely and offered to do that. I'd also like to say that Steve, because of this presentation today, made a contribution to the Black Dog project, and so thank you very
Black
much
Dog
to all of you who
Institute,
contributed to that
that
too.
was actually Michelle's idea. I'd like to just make that. Yes. No, thank you, Michelle, very, very much. I don't like taking credit all that
No, it
well, but
was completely your idea, so it was wonderful.
thank you very much. Now, thank you. Thank you, and hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you